Hey y'all, it's Bailey with Reclaim Grace, and I am so happy you clicked on this video. Today we have some epic makeovers. I hope you love them. Y'all let me know which one is your favorite, and let's go ahead and get started. Hey friends, let's get started on our first makeover today, which is this wooden desk. My good friend Julie gave to me. She found this piece laying on the side of the road during trash day, and she picked it up and had plans to make it over herself. But I don't know, she just loves giving me stuff, and I love her for that. As you can see, it has quite a little bit of just surface damage, but the piece is very structurally sound. I just needed to tighten up the legs. Other than that, it was very sturdy. So we're going to start by giving it a good deep clean. I'm just using some Windex here. You can also use hot water and Dawn dish soap, crud cutter, whatever you like to use will be perfect. I just had my Windex handy, so that's what I'm going to use. The velvet on the inside of these smaller drawers was in really, really great condition, but the velvet lining inside the front drawer right here was a little worse for wear. And man, I have my phone on silent and it is still dinging in the background. I'm sorry about that. As you can see, there is some duct tape holding this drawer together, and man, duct tape is hard to get off of wood. So after probably about 20 minutes of this, I finally got all the duct tape removed, and it did cause a little bit of damage, but we'll figure out that later. Next, we're going to give everything a good scuff sand, get rid of all that sticky residue, whatever was on the top of it, scuff out and smooth over any scratches and dings. We're not going for raw wood, we're just trying to create some micro texture on the surface that our next paint or our new paint layer that we're about to put over this will grab onto. I'm sorry, I'm about to turn my phone off right now. I have somebody blowing me up and will not leave me alone. Next, I'm going to grab my Surf Prep sander and this little squishy foam attachment, and I'm going to add just a piece of sandpaper to that as well. I'm going with a 180 grit here. It's not the right size sandpaper for this sponge, but it'll do the trick. But this works wonders whenever you're trying to sand curved surfaces. That way you don't flatten it out and damage all the curvy details. So I use that on the legs and all the other curved details. Now let's jump to this drawer. A lot of the velvet lining was peeling right up, which was great, but a little area in the center, I did have to use my heat gun to just reactivate that adhesive, and then it came right up. It did leave a little bit of that cardboard underlayment to deal with, but I'm going to show you how to tackle that right here in just a second. I have found that it's very easily to get this cardboard and adhesive up if you wet it. So I just had my Windex handy. If not, I would have just used my Mister bottle. You're going to wet it, let it soak for a few minutes, and then come in with a scraper tool and start scraping away. Once you get that first layer up, wet it again, and just continue that process until it loosens up and you can get all of it scraped up. Once you get all that removed, let the drawer dry and then come in and sand it, and it will be brand new. Now let's plug in those holes because I have a different layout in mind. The drawer came with 2 hardware pulls where I'm just going to do one in the center. So we need to fill up these holes, and I love using Bondo for that. So this is a 2-part component putty that you mix the putty with the blue hardener, and it just dries very quick and rock hard in a matter of minutes, and then you can sand it smooth. I like this because I'm impatient, and I don't know, it's just really a game saver in so many furniture issues. Now that that's done, I am going to prime this piece. I am going to be going with a whitish color, so I need to make sure these wood tannins are sealed up and sealed up well. So I'm going to use my spray shellac and come in with 3 coats before coming in with my white paint. That's just going to ensure that we have no bleed through. I'm going to use the color Cashmere by Fusion Mineral Paints. This is a all-in-one paint, and we're going to start painting this baby up. It did take 3 coats to get the coverage I was looking for. Did you know that I offer a YouTube channel membership? If not, let me tell you about it in case you haven't heard. I have the $3.99 a month rescued group where you get special emojis beside your name when you comment, member shout outs. And then I have the $9.99 a month group, and this is called Restored. This is the one I'm really proud of. You get a monthly video going over exactly what has sold in my booth with prices and pictures. You get weekly sales sheets sent right to your email address so you can see what's trending every single day and what is selling for me. You get access to the private Facebook group where it's filled with wonderful, wonderful people sharing what they're working on. We're helping each other solve issues, problems when you're feeling stuck in your latest project. You get a free shipping code to my website that is unlimited use. And y'all, it is just so awesome. If that sounds like something you're interested in, you can find the link down below in the description box. Next, I'm going to be breaking out the new lace stamp. Man, this is gorgeous. Look at all that detail. This is the first time I'm using this stamp, so I'm going to peel off that protective backing and give the backside of the stamp a light scuff sand going in each direction. This is going to make it pick up your ink much better and have more crisp lines. I'm going to peel off the design I plan on using first, and I'm just going to place it on the piece of plastic that it came with. I'm going to be using my permanent IOD ink, and we're going to start inking up or stamping these little mini drawers. I'm going to do the same design on both drawers, starting with this smaller trim piece on both of them, and then I grabbed out a different design from that same stamp book to come up from the bottom with a stamp to kind of meet up in the middle, and I just love how these 2 little drawers came out. When you are stamping, you want to try your best not to shift anything around. So I like to hold, press with one hand and tickle with the other, and then switch hands, kind of peek underneath it to make sure it's coming out the way I like, and then pull straight up. This is what works best for me. I am by no means a professional stamper, which you're going to see that here in a few minutes. I have got to practice more with stamps. It takes practice. It really does. But if you're not practicing on something, you're not going to get any better. So we're moving on to the middle drawer now, and I've grabbed out a different design, and I have to say this one is my favorite in this in this stamp book. It is gorgeous. I'm going to stamp it up again with my IOD ink and then get it positioned exactly where I want it on this drawer. And as you can see, I'm having to come back in and line it up again, and it fits together perfectly. Now, here is when things got harder for me. And let me tell y'all what, times were tough right here. I wanted to add some stamping in this little inset area to the side of the desk. So here is attempt number 1. I peeked under it and it just was not a good impression. So I'm immediately coming in with a baby wipe to wipe away the ink. And since we're working on a all-in-one paint, meaning it has a top coat in it, you can easily wipe it off. Here's attempt number 2, and I just was not happy with the impression again. I'm staring at it like, you are going to be a you-know-what, ain't you? So I'm going to wipe it off again. You really got to think quick if you want to get that ink off. A baby wipe works perfectly, but then you need to come back in and dry off the area. Here's attempt number 3. It wasn't dark enough. The impression was good, but it wasn't dark enough. So we're wiping it off again. And then I think I just turned off the camera and got very frustrated. And no, here I am. Attempt number 4. Attempt number 4 I liked. Yes. Attempt number 4 I liked. So I'm now coming in to meet up, finish it out. And this was kind of hard getting into that corner and making it where it needs to meet up. And that impression was not good. So I'm going to come in and wipe that off very quickly and then try again. It was not good. Wipe it off. And then here is that's when I turned off the camera. I went in for the night, came back out the next morning, didn't even hit the record button, and I finished it and it went fine. So sometimes you just got to stop and give your project a break, and when you come back to it, you'll be able to get it. Just don't give up. So my impressions still were not perfect. So I'm wanting to come in and add some age, add some dimension to this piece. So I'm going to do that by adding a layer of chalk paint over this all-in-one paint. I watered the desk down with my mister bottle, applied a thin layer of a dark taupe. This is clay by the Alchemy line. I remisted over that paint layer, and now I'm coming in with a shop towel and I'm going to dab up the excess paint. And this is just going to give it some dimension, some age. You want to make sure you're dabbing. You're going to be tempted to wipe, but that does not give you the same effect. You got to go up and down, pouncing, dabbing. I'm going to continue this process on the entire desk, front and back, down the legs, everywhere. I painted white. We're going to do this washed look over the white paint. You need to make sure you're working in sections because you don't want that paint to start drying on you. And then if it's not pulling back like you want it to, just add another light layer of misted water on it, and it should come right off since it's water activated. And here is what we're looking like after it is good and dry. I'm sorry for the shadow. I've got to figure something out with lighting on this side of my building. If y'all have any recommendations on lighting, please let me know down in the comments. I have ring lights. I have the lightings that YouTube tells you to get, and nothing helps the shadowing. Either way, I'm going to come in now with a layer of clear wax all over the piece, buff that in, and then now I'm coming in and adding a little bit more age to the corners and crevices just to darken things up just a bit more with some Fusion Agent Wax. I'm not going to go all over here, just in the little corners and crevices. And one of the last steps is reattaching the hardware. These two pulls came with the piece, so I'm just going to reattach those after I gave them a good clean. And for the middle drawer, I'm adding a new pull on since the ones that came with it were missing. First, I'm going to drill a hole in the center where I want my new pull to be positioned, and then I'm going to add that new hardware piece in. And that is it for this desk makeover. I love how it came out. I think the stamping, that stamping gave me a time, but I think it was the perfect project to use that lace stamp on. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this desk makeover. I got this for free from my friend Julie, and I'm going to price it for $175. If you're interested in picking up a lace IOD stamp, I have some available over on my website. Moving on to our next project. When I seen this frame sitting at the back of my Salvation Army store, I squealed. Y'all, look at this frame. I have never, ever seen a more gorgeous frame in my life. It is awesome. The artwork has to go. It does look like it was hand painted and it's signed. I might repurpose it in a later step, but for right now, let's start disassembling this piece. I'm going to start by figuring out how to get this canvas artwork out, and I notice it's just held intact with a few nails. So I'm going to use my pliers to pull those out, and I think it had like 6 or 8 in there, and once those were removed, the canvas came right out. Next, I'm going to remove this hanging hardware by taking off the Phillips screws on both sides. I'm going to be reusing that hardware when we go and put things back together because it was in really nice shape. Now, as I said, I might build a frame to put this artwork back in another time, another day. So I'm going to set it to the side, and we're going to take some measurements to cut out a piece of 1/4-inch plywood to fit back into this gorgeous frame. And here it is, all cut out and ready. And here is the canvas I'm going to be putting on this backer board. I ordered this from Temu. It was around $10, and it is a 36 by 24-inch canvas. And they didn't have a lot to choose from, honestly. I would have loved to put a swan in this picture, but I could not find a swan canvas large enough. So I think this little country scenery on a dirt road is gorgeous, and it's going to fit very well with the frame's aesthetic. Kind of like a moody vibe, I feel like. We're going to be using Mod Podge to attach our canvas to this backer board. I'm going to start with a starter strip, about a 3-inch section, and spread that around evenly, and then put the canvas into that wet medium. I'm going to use my hands and the brayer to smooth it out. You don't necessarily have to worry about wrinkles when you're using Temu canvases. You more got to worry about air bubbles. And you can see the air bubbles when your project is finished. So make sure you're smoothing every area out. You also want to be aware to not have any chunks underneath the canvas. So I'm picking out some chunks that was in the Mod Podge from it just being an older jar. Make sure you get those out because you will be able to see them through your canvas if you place the canvas over them. I'm going to finish this piece out and get it all placed down using my hands and the brayer very, very well. Next, I'm going to seal over the canvas with another layer of Mod Podge going in a crosshatch motion to mimic brush strokes so it looks more like a painting instead of a canvas. I really like this technique. And then we just need to let her dry. Once the piece is fully dry, I'm going to flip it over and cut off any excess canvas with a sharp X-Acto knife or box cutter. And then we're almost done with this project because, of course, we are not going to be painting that frame. We're just going to stick this backer board with the new artwork back into the frame. Then I'm going to use my little favorite handy tool for making new artwork. This is a point nailer. I don't know the exact name of it, but it's linked in my Amazon store favorites down in the description box. It's just going to hold your artwork securely into place. Next, I like to finish off the back of my frames because I resell and I want it to be as professional as possible. So I'm going to cover the back with a piece of contractor's paper. I saved the best part about this project for last. Look how much I paid for this frame. And Blue Tag was 25% off that day. Y'all, I love this piece. Like, love is an understatement of how much I love this piece. Y'all, what do you think? Did I luck up or what? I priced it for $247, and just wait until I step back a little bit so you can really see how large this piece is. And that is all I have for y'all today, my friends. I really hope you enjoyed these two makeovers. I love how both of them came out, but y'all let me know which is your favorite down in the comments. I appreciate y'all spending your time with me today. I wanted to take a second and show you some mail I got from a sweet friend, Stephanie. This is a hand-burned design. I guess she has a business called Jasper Inspo. Y'all look her up and check her out. I thought this was so sweet of her to send this to me. She knows I love mushrooms. Either way, thank y'all for spending your time with me today. If you're needing any milk paint or IOD products, head over to my website and check that out. And I'll talk to y'all in the comments. Bye.